No, I'm sorry. I canceled room service.
No, this is about the service I'm getting from you. So, what do you say we get to work?
Even you must notice that I'm busy, Mr. Corinthos, so whatever this is about, it will have to wait.
It's waited 24 hours already, Counselor.
Forgive me if I gave you the impression that I have the slightest idea what you're referring to.
A sharp lady like you forgetting you had an appointment with your newest client.
Is this persistence of yours supposed to be endearing in some way?
Yes, it has happened that way in the past.
Well, not here. Not now. I'm not your attorney, Mr. Corinthos, and I don't want to be.
What do you think you did for me yesterday?
A major lapse in judgment. But I made it very plain at the time that it was a one-shot deal.
For which I thank you.
Oh, don't thank me. Thank Dara for harassing you that way because it annoyed me, and then I felt the need to get involved. And I don't even specialize in constitutional law. But I distinctly remember, I do, telling you that I never wanted to see your face again.
And would you settle for his back?
Do we have to discuss my case in front of him? Isn't that a violation of attorney-client privilege?
Finally, there it is. The flash of steel beneath the smile. I was wondering how long it was going to take him before he threatened you.
You acted on my behalf with the assistant DA. You even took a cash down payment on your retainer.
Which I promptly returned.
Did you? Well, I forgot. Was there any witnesses? No? Well, that in my book, that means you're formally engaged as my attorney. Now, I'm here on legal business. If you refuse me, that's what you call breach of something. Which means, I'm afraid, I'm gonna have to sue you.
You need a lawyer, Mr. Corinthos, one that will tell you that nothing that transpired between the two of us yesterday constitutes a professional agreement stated or implied. And even if it did, I could drop you for no grounds for a lawsuit. Now, any judge, any unbribed judge, would invoke the well-known legal doctrine known omni damnum inducit in iurium, which is Latin for stick it in your ear.
If I'd known I was going to get this kind of reception, I'd have sprung for cheaper flowers.
As I was saying, when you followed those flowers into
In the
my
interest
room...
of saving time, consider this game called for now. However, I will need an answer to my question before we can proceed.
I understand.
I don't know what kind of business you're doing with Jax.
You're not supposed to.
Well, he's unreliable. He gets easily bored. He's a rich kid who doesn't care about what he wrecks. Because all he has to do is buy a new one to replace it.
You came here seeking my advice, Mr. Corinthos, not the other way around, so I'm going to try to make this clear for you one more time. I'm not interested in working for you. You can send me a greenhouse, but I don't expect to see your face here again. And don't try intimidating me, because, as you've noticed, it's a waste of time.
You owe a favor to a friend of mine, Miss Davis.
My debts are my business.
Well, in this case, they're Jason Morgan's business, too. You defended the man who kidnapped Jason's son. Tony Jones got squat for all the pain he caused.
Well, obviously, the courts disagreed. The judge felt that community service was sufficient for Dr. Jones to repay his debt to society.
Well, that's not what you said to Jason after the trial. What were you looking for when you went to his home and confessed your sins? Absolution? Well, this is your chance to earn it. Jason has been accused of kidnapping Michael. The Quartermains will use that to take the baby away from him. Jason needs the best lawyer in town to stop them. You want a chance to make amends? This is it.
To my defense of Dr. Jones than you know.
Yeah, I can guess a lot. I got a chance to read the records of the Jones trial. You came on a team at the last minute. You were kind of like a pinch hitter, but my question is, who put you in the lineup?
Sorry. attorney-client privilege. That actually does mean something to me.
What I'm trying to figure out is what motivation would you have to step up to the plate for Joan? So I'm trying to figure out, someone paid you a lot of money? Blackmailed the daylights out of you, or both? Which tells me something about you.
Something not very flattering, I imagine.
Not good, not bad, just the facts. You cave in when somebody puts a real scare in you.
People change, Mr. Corinthos. In fact, representing Dr. Jones made me reassess the wisdom of letting my life be led by the threats of other people. It doesn't really guarantee you safety. Just more threats. But you already know about that. Threats being something of a specialty of yours, right?
Only when necessary. For instance, if that's what it's going to take to get you to represent Jason.
See. Oh, well, there we go. There we go with the threats.
No, it's not a threat, because that's not what it's going to take.
If I were to assist Mr. Morgan's defense in some capacity, I would be doing it for Jason, not you.
I knew you'd come around.
I didn't say that I had.
Yeah, but that's just what I heard.
Don't push your luck.
Okay, so let's say you are Jason's lawyer. Hypothetically, how would you read the situation?
As it so happens, I have been following this case somewhat, purely for legal aspects.
Of course.
All right, now off the top of my head, Jason is not going to be charged with kidnapping because he is indeed the legal father. And I think the Quartermains are trying to harass him with legal threats to get Jason to come back to town with the child so they can prove that he's not the biological father through a blood test. Now, if both birth parents side against Jason, it's going to be nearly impossible for him to keep this child.
Not bad off the top of your head.
But not what you wanted to hear, right?
No, I just want the truth from my lawyers. That's what I pay them for.
I'm not your lawyer. I'm Jason's. I would be Jason's, not yours.
Right. So, how would Jason Morgan's lawyer proceed?
She would assume that A.J. Quartermain is unreachable and that Carly Benson is probably a good possibility. Maybe she would be impressed with your ominous glances and your threats. Whatever you do, getting her back on Jason Morgan's side is his only chance of winning this case.
Understood. Okay. Send me a bill and I'll call you real soon.
I'm not kidding. I'm not your lawyer.
Oh, I know, but by the time this sinks in, you might be. Listen, thank you for your advice, counselor, and I meant what I said before. Think twice about doing business with Jax.